valuable. So I eat what come from the ground, it's natural. Let your food be your medicine, no accelerant. Strictly herb generates from the sun, cause I got melanin and drink water. 8 glasses a day, cause that's what they say.
KBLA Talk 1580. It's the perfect walk-on music for Dr. Paul Wallace. He's a highly respected celebrity cosmetic dermatologist. He has provided his patients with natural alternatives to dermatological problems. He's got an undergrad degree from UC Berkeley, went to Harvard Medical School, got a master's degree in public administration from the University of Missouri, and he's currently in South LA as well as, Windsor Hills with the Wallace Skin and Body Institute. Dr. Paul Wallace, welcome back.
Dominique, it's always good. Like to see you season by season and be able to tell this audience, some things that they can do for their health and in particular with regards to their skin.
Yeah, well, I picked that Dead Prez song because you're always talking about how we need to drink water and eat a little healthier. And I don't think you sign off on the part about cannabis, but other than that, a lot of the things he's singing are things I've heard you saying.
Well, I like what they say. I wish I could follow most of them. I'm doing my best, and it's always, just a continuous struggle. Keep the fight going, because nothing is more important than your health. You can't buy good health.
Right.
It's basically, it's a behavioral thing, and we have to change and make a dedication into that I'm important.
Yeah. And I want to talk about, the summer beauty stuff. I want to answer people's questions at 800-920-1580. I'm always here for things that make us look better, more glowy, more healthy. But you told me about something last time I was in your office that was pretty alarming. Mm-hmm. And you showed me pictures, and I've seen it. I just didn't know what it was. And I'm going to mess this up just like I couldn't say dermatological earlier. It's hidradenitis?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
What the heck is that?
So hidradenitis suppurativa is we like to say autoimmune problem, but really it's a systemic inflammation that goes on. And why I'm interested in it particularly, not only just as a dermatologist, is that right now it's thought that it is primarily found in black women. I don't believe that to be the case. However, truly the vast majority, my client base is black anyway, but there are significant numbers that are there. The problem with this disease, which it's an attack of the immune system on places that have hair follicles where you have skin to skin. So underneath the arms, under the breasts, in the genital area, between the thighs and on the buttocks.
So where there's hair growing and two parts of your skin meet each other.
Yes.
And the pictures you showed me, for people who are wondering, is like there's like bumps, almost looks like warts, could have some skin breakage, but maybe not.
Usually described more like boils in the old days, like boils that there are abscesses that are there. And what happens as this progresses, there's tunneling that happens. So the boils are connected.
To each other?
To each other. So they start making tunnels that all connect. The problem is that the destruction that happens cannot be reversed. And it is extremely painful. On a scale of 1 to 10, the patients say it's a 15.
Wow.
There's bleeding. It's not infectious. It is not
In other words,
contagious.
you can't catch it from someone.
No, you can't, and you can't spread it to anybody. So but it's been misdiagnosed, and one of the major problems, as I mentioned earlier, pain is the number one complaint that patients have. This society does not understand or believe what black women have been through in particular. This does happen in men, but on a very small scale. So for you to be able to carry on with your normal activities, if you're raising a child, whatever work that you may have to do, we have learned how to work through that pain. However, the problem is that those who don't know and understand us think that we are faking. So this is not one of these cases like a workers' comp, and they send out somebody to take a look at you to see whether or not your back is really hurt of that. What they see is you working through this pain, this uncomfortable situation to do what you have to do. But then they discount the amount of pain. So when white patients are getting all types of opioids and pain relievers, they're telling women of color, just take some aspirin, just take a Tylenol from there. So it is not that I'm going to give a prescription for no need, but I believe and I understand when someone's saying they're in pain.
So how would I'm looking at some of these pictures. Some of them look like just huge holes in the skin. Some of them look like what we might think is an ingrown hair, a boil, a wart. How would we know that this is what we have?
Well, there's usually some regularity, some frequency that may happen, and it's usually also involved in two places. It may be on the underarms on both sides, or the one underarm and in the genital area, or on the buttocks, as I said, and it continues to be progressive. You might say, I always get it in the same place.
So it comes and goes.
It can come and it can go, which makes it very difficult for us to be able to do a full assessment, because it could be very good on one day and horrible the next day. So according to what time you go in and get evaluated, they will either say that it wasn't that much, it was a moderate, not severe, or they may say it's even mild, but in between, there's some suffering that can go on.
You see me making faces on the YouTube. It's because I was looking at pictures of it, and it looks pretty bad. In some of those cases, it's disfiguring. But it can be suppressed. It can be cured. What?
Not cured, but suppressed. That's a very
not
good
cured.
word. Under control. It can be put under control. So for what's happened in the last 2 decades in particular, I've used this expression before. Instead of using a shotgun, we use a fly swat. But now the medications have gotten so that we can use a pellet gun on that. And we're getting to a point where we can also go, if we were trying to shoot a fly, that we can shoot one wing off of that fly. So things are getting better along the way. I'm excited because there's only 2 medications right now that have been cleared for a hidradenitis. And for folks, you can look under HS. HS.
If you want to Google it, HS?
Yes.
Okay, for hidradenitis suppurativa.
Yes. You said it perfect.
HS. But the thing about it is, someone could be listening right now and has it and doesn't know it, or has a loved one who has it and doesn't know it. And so if you've got these boils or bumps or holes that are coming in and out of your skin, underarms, groin, buttocks, and you're not getting relief, it might be worth checking into this, right?
Absolutely. And I can tell you that a number of primary care docs don't know. And what happens usually, folks go into urgent care or the emergency room, and they may give you a shot of a steroid and give you some prednisone, an high-powered anti-inflammatory. But that is only a temporary fix. Because
they don't know what it is. They don't really know what it is.
They have no
you need an actual
they don't have a clue of what's going on. You need to be seen by a dermatologist, and it's time to take control. You need to go in. If you don't have access straight to a dermatologist, you need to go into your primary doc and say, I have HS, and make them show you, prove to you that you don't. Because with this particular disease state, the sooner you can treat it, the better the outcome.
So less tunneling, less opportunity for it to progress.
Correct.
and get worse and worse and worse. Dr. Paul Wallace is my guest. We're talking summer beauty, but also I was just alarmed to hear about this this disease, this scourge that is really hitting black women hard, and many times we're being misdiagnosed. So let's get the word out, and maybe we can get folks some relief. You're doing a study. We'll look at that and more when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. At one point, James said something that caught me off guard. Not because it wasn't true, but because it is. Black Altadena is gone. I know it may seem stupid and non-productive, but I stopped in that moment listening to Tavis and James. I broke down and cried. In the back of my mind, I told myself we can bring it back like it was. But James Farr's reality check hit me like a ton of bricks. My community is being murdered. I said murdered, not by the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire, but by the people we elect to protect us, and by greedy and gatekeeping nonprofits who cannot see the forest for the trees. For the first time since the fire, I truly feel and understand my wife's inconsolable pain. Because I'm struggling to find a path to recovery and at least some form of normalcy. My community is crumbling right in front of my face. Lack of funding to rebuild is slowly destroying us. Many of us can no longer hold out, and developers are gobbling up our property. When I hear voices like Tavis Smiley and James Farr speak truth to power on KBLA Talk 1580, it reminds me that we're not crazy, just unheard. Make no mistake here, KBLA delegation, this is war, and we the people of Black Altadena are losing. It's like waiting for reparation. Not gonna happen, brother. In this new orange man world, no one, no entity is persuaded by right or wrong. There is no consequence for doing the wrong thing, and no accolades or support for doing the right thing. Will war-torn Black Altadena survive? Your guess is as good as mine. But what have I got to lose? I'm in my 70s and don't have time to wait. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once suggested that riots break out when people have no hope. But there is nothing left to burn down in Altadena. I wish I could say I remain hopeful that my beloved community will rise again like a phoenix from the ashes. I wish I could. With a KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Pasadena Community Coalition at gmail.com. Reach out to me. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. For this free information, call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. That's 800-433-8909. Or simply visit godra.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Talking with Dr. Paul Wallace, trying not to diverge off into talking about Africa, because this brother here will travel to Africa in a heartbeat. We're talking about skin. He's a cosmetic dermatologist. Also, you were an Army medic and you're a fight doctor, so you've got a lot of different kinds of medical experience. But we're talking about this HS. And if you're a black woman or any person, but especially a black woman who's been having some kind of bumps and boils and pain and maybe abscesses and you don't know what it is and no one can help you, or someone that you know is going through this, I would look into this, because when I saw the pictures on my Google image search, it's definitely something I've seen on people. And you said it can have an odor. People think it's an infection or that people are not washing themselves properly. And it's really just part of this ailment.
Yeah, this systemic infection or over inflammation that happens. But this has nothing to do with poor hygiene. This has nothing to do with regards to, again, it being contagious. And the problem is that it's progressive and doesn't get better. Now, one of the things that I want folks to try to avoid, the shortcut for a number of these healthcare providers is say, oh, you need to go to surgery and to have that cut out. Well, I've done hundreds of these patients, and the surgery can improve a bit, but for the most part, it too leaves a tremendous amount of scars, a lot of pain, and this can happen right at the edge. You think you take the armpit off and you maybe graft it somewhere else and put it there. It can come back around the edge of that. So getting treated, and that's why I'm involved with a clinical trial that we're doing right now for a third medication to come out. And if I might, let me talk about clinical trial for a moment. This is not you being a guinea pig. We are all pretty much guinea pigs if we haven't been involved with regards to the trials, but we specifically I look at how any medication, any cosmetic product, any laser procedure affects people of color. Because sometimes it does a good job with regards to the result that you get in clearing something up, but it may leave hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation, too light, too dark. It could leave scarring in a different way. And of course, we know of medications like cardiac drugs, and that they found there's a whole class of medications that don't work well on African, the diaspora. So being involved in the clinical trials, this has nothing to do. There's so many checks and balances. So the issue with regards to Tuskegee, which I still hear on pretty much a daily basis, is very well protected.
So you're not going to be the next Tuskegee. It's weird to me because I know we're one race, the human race. We're all descended from Africa.
Of course.
So why do we have such different outcomes when it comes to our skin and our, what medications work on us and which ones don't and what we're susceptible to?
Well, a lot of it, of course, has to do with geography and what those generations had experienced. Certainly, and as we know, a lot has to do with regards to diet, of things that we have some sense of control over. And then the body is just different. There's obviously a difference between black skin and white skin. The basic functions are exactly the same, but there's some differences in there, just the same way that we look different.
Yeah, I mean, I know that because I've interviewed you probably dozens of times. Mm-hmm. I mean, just the way we respond to laser or the way that we have to be treated for certain things. Not that we can't be treated, but we have to have someone that knows what the heck they're doing.
Right. And believe me, there's so many benefits with regards to having black skin. We think, another one that we don't want. The decreased rate with regards to skin cancers. There's a tremendous number of things that don't affect skin of color the way that they affect white skin that are on the positive side. So taking care of yourself and overall taking care of the largest organ in your body, skin, certainly helps. And yes, I'm going to talk about water.
Yeah, drink your water, Okay, so I've got some questions in here already.
Sure.
I want to get to those, but I also know you wanted to mention atopic dermatitis, whatever that is.
Atopic dermatitis. Atopic dermatitis is one of many types of eczema. eczema has been a term that has been used. I don't want to. It's kind of a garbage term, and by that I mean they throw everything into that bucket and say, okay, this is what you have. But eczema has been broken up in a variety of individual that we've been able to tease out separate type of diseases under that bucket. Many black folks, people of color, have a type of eczema called atopic dermatitis. Very close, again, in the same family as eczema, but you'll notice that the severity that they have is more than you would normally see. They may have it on the face or around the eyes or around the mouth, not usual places where you would find eczema or small patch that's there. They can have 10, 20, 30, 60% of their body that's involved with that. And it certainly, not only is it painful, can you imagine itching 24/7?
No.
But not only is it painful because there's small cracks in the skin, so sometimes sweating, anytime that you shower can be problematic, can be painful, as though that you had scraped your skin and then you put it under water, and you know the pain that you can go from there. You'll notice that sometimes these patients don't respond to no matter what type of lotions or petroleum jellies or aquaphors that you use on them. They still have these problems. More than likely they have atopic dermatitis, and there's some specific medications just for that, but we aren't getting them.
Again, you want to go to a derm. You can go to Dr. Wallace. It's wait. Okay, we have time. Your social media locations.
On Instagram, we're Wallace Skin and Body, or Facebook is Dr. Paul Wallace, or LinkedIn, Dr. Paul Wallace. Any of those. Phone book, if we still use those. You can Google me.
Yeah, and I know it's Wallace Skin and Body Institute.com, if I'm not mistaken. You can go to. You probably would want to go to a dermatologist for this, and my recommendation would probably be a black dermatologist. I mean, you've treated me, you've treated my kid. I just rather someone who has the risk of a keloid themselves treating me, as opposed to someone who doesn't even know what that is. We got some questions in the chat. Let's go to one.
Sure.
Let's go to the first one. Molly Bell says, straight out of Compton, says she's got some bruising that she doesn't typically bruise. Should she be worried about that? Is there something she needs to do to it? Should she rub on it? Someone told her that if she has a blood clot, it could travel to her heart. And so she's really very concerned about this purple bruise.
I don't think that there's going to be any blood clot there that can do any traveling. I want to really calm the waters with regards to that. But if you found that you're having an increase incidence of these, I'd go to the doctor, let them know. They'll do. We've got a couple of blood tests that look at how well you coagulate, how well your blood system is, and can tell you if you're at risk for some problem. Bruising, of course, is that you have injured the smaller blood vessels in a particular area, and that's blood that is then being moved away from that area, turns blue, then it dissolves.
Yeah, well, that's good news, Molly Bell. Don't worry about the blood clot. If it's seeming like it's more and more frequent, then she could go see a doctor.
Sure.
Carl wants to know, Carl Tucker, what's the doctor's thoughts on antibiotics as a cure-all?
Antibiotics are certainly important. I'm old enough to have been born prior to antibiotics, so the hundreds of millions of lives that antibiotics has saved is certainly important. It is important that the right antibiotic is chosen. So it's either through history, what they're able to clinically assess, or to do a culture and find out, for example, if there is this abscess, if you do have a boil, if you do have an infection, that they take a sample of that and they actually grow. There's a plate that they have that has some 12 to 14 different antibiotics on, and they put the infection over that and they see which one works the best, then your doctor can do. It is not unusual that I can prescribe something, get back the culture that I sent, and change that. I'm usually in the right family, but there may be something that's more specific. I do not believe in lifetime antibiotics, nor do I believe the more, the better.
Talking with Dr. Paul Wallace. He's a dermatologist, and your questions are welcome. 800-920-1580. Right now it's news, traffic, and sports, then more, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump warns of a 100% tariff on Russia if no Ukraine peace deal is reached.
We're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days.
At the White House, he met with NATO Secretary General and announced a new arms deal, including Patriot missiles for Ukraine. Black Mayor Eric Adams is opening 11 new schoolyards across New York City as part of the Schoolyards to Playgrounds program. The goal? More green space in park-starved neighborhoods. Starting this month, the site will be open daily from 8 a.m. to dusk when school's not in session. And Atlanta police are investigating the theft of unreleased Beyoncé music. 2 suitcases were stolen from her choreographer's rental car July 8th, containing thumb drives, laptops, and tour plans. A suspect has been identified, and security footage captured the break-in. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Fall enrollment is still open at California Baptist University. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree with flexible on-campus and online programs. Scholarships are still available to help you get started. Apply now at calbaptist.edu.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Bronny James led the Lakers rookies and free agents with 17 points Monday night in the team's loss to the Clippers in the NBA Summer League in Vegas. LeBron's son played 24 minutes. He made 6 of 10 shots and had 5 assists. The LA Sparks are at home tonight against the Washington Mystics. The Sparks are trying to win consecutive games for the first time this season. They beat the Connecticut Sun on Sunday. At 7-14, the Sparks are tied with the Chicago Sky for the third worst record in the WNBA. Congratulations to Ty Floyd, a 28-year-old native of Winter Garden, Florida. Floyd is the first female play-by-play announcer to work for an HBCU athletic program. Floyd was hired Monday by Alabama A&M to be the school's play-by-play voice for football and basketball games on TV and radio. Floyd is a journalism graduate from HBCU Florida A&M. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
What make you?
KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
I'm getting requests to remind folks about the Board of Supervisors meeting today. It starts at 9:30 a.m., and we're being asked to call in and tell the supervisor, or go in. You can go to the Kenneth Hall building, the administration building there, downtown LA, and say, we want to protect Measure J, which you supposedly accidentally screwed up with Measure G. We need Measure J to be protected. The number is 877-226-8163, 877-226-8163. The code is 133-6503, 133-6503. I guess that's the code if you want to comment. So that is going on today, and it is very, very important, protecting millions of dollars that is currently being diverted from cops and jails to actual humans that need help on the ground. Right now we're talking with Dr. Paul Wallace, MD. He is a cosmetologist, dermatologist, cosmetic dermatologist, I should say. Also been an Army doc and a fight doctor. Dr. Wallace, you have a podcast now weekly?
Yes.
We can. What do we find?
I don't talk enough during the office. Yes, we do have one that's up, and if you go in through my LinkedIn account at Dr. Paul Wallace, you can sign up and get on it. It's been up for a couple months now, and it's pretty fun.
Okay, I'm glad you like it. You know, I'm always complaining about all y'all with your podcasts. Like, everybody wants my job now, even Michelle Obama. Doggone it. Let's go to Vet calling us from Long Beach. Good morning. You're on with Dr. Paul Wallace.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I have had twice in the exact same area. I guess it's called a cyst. On my back, right next to like my shoulder, and both times it drained on its own after like getting antibiotics. But like I was wondering like about having the sac removed, because like it itches like sometimes really, really bad.
Okay, without going into a whole detail of your life, let's see what Dr. Wallace has to say about that. Sounds terrible.
I think if you had it twice in the same area, you probably have a cyst that gets infected in that area, and you're correct. it needs to be removed. You're also right. There's a sac. So there's a very small incision that takes that we need to make, and there's an instrument almost like a spoon that will try to get it out. Recognize that there may be anywhere from a 20 to 40% chance that you can have a reoccurrence, and if you did, they would do exactly the same thing. But yes, I believe based on your description, it's something that needs to be removed.
Good luck to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so I was like, around the area, like I guess for me scratching.
Sounds like you need to go see a dermatologist. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm not a medical professional, but that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. So what?
I said it sounds like you need to go see a dermatologist. He already told you probably would need to get it removed, and then you saying it's causing other problems from the scratching. Sounds like it's time to go see a derm.
Well, right. So I was just gonna say, like, can that be like lasered or something? Because it's ugly. I hate it.
Well, I'm not seeing it. I can't make that call. But usually, if it's something like an abscess, if it's something like a cyst, no, it can't be lasered. Although we have more lasers for skin of color than any office west of the Mississippi, that's something that we can't do is laser a cyst.
So could she have it removed and then lasered for cosmetic reasons, like remove the cyst and then try to smooth over the?
Yes, for scar improvement, the laser certainly can work.
So it wouldn't treat the cyst, but it could treat the aftermath of the
Correct.
cyst. Okay, got it. Makes sense. Good luck to you, girl. It's terrible when you got something you hate happening on your body. Morris Phillips is asking about the immune system. He says it protects the body from health issues. Good nutrition fuels and equips the immune system. He wants to know what your thoughts on that.
You're absolutely correct. The immune system is so incredibly important. And what we have learned throughout the years, you heard me use the analogy talking about a shotgun to a pellet gun or to a fly swat. We are getting closer and closer to the time of where the smallest of components of an infection or of a systemic inflammatory process is being discovered. Those are the commercials that you're seeing on television with regards to the biologics or the injectable one, whether it's rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, atopic dermatitis, psoriasis, different GI problems. We've been able to discover a particular pathway, an inflammatory pathway that can be blocked. Now, there are many of those, and think of it as how many different ways that you can go from place A to place B. For example, your place of work or home. If one street was blocked, there's others that you can take. The most direct route might be one medication, but you can always go some other routes to get home. That's the way the medications are. And that's what we do, again, with regards to the clinical trials. Usually it's not a matter of testing some medication that's unknown. It's finding out that a medication that was used for something else also has a great effect on something you may not be looking for. So, yes, the immune system is absolutely important. From the smallest of parts when we think about perhaps having a cold or flu, to folks having to have transplants, especially we see this problem with many of the diabetics needing to have kidneys.
Well, you know, the clock is ticking and folks got a lot of questions, so therefore I didn't get my whole summer beauty vibe on. But you referenced it at the beginning of the show. Different seasons require different skin care, right? Because of their more moist or more dry, because of whatever other challenges come with those seasons, or what our behavior might be in response to that weather. So the bottom line for summer is I know you're going to say, I don't even want to say it.
All right, I'll say it second. It's protect yourself first. You want to make sure. And again, black folks, we need sunscreen. The natural
See, that's
pigment.
what I didn't want to say. I knew you were going to say.
I thought you were going to talk about water.
No, I'm fine with water. That's the sunscreen I hate.
But not mine. The
Not yours. Actually, that is actually really true. Your sunscreen doesn't stink, and it doesn't make me look like I'm in the sunken place.
It looks good, totally transparent, feels good, smells good, and that's the thing that you have to have. But again, the reason why we need, and yes, you say, well, we're protected with regards to our color. The reality is that sunscreens do a better job. Our skin has about, if we talk about sun protective factor, our darker skin has about an SPF 13. We need a 30 to block out 96% of the harmful UV rays. Now, when I was in Beverly Hills, of course, I saw white clients, patients, literally on a daily basis coming in with signs with skin cancers. Now, primarily with regards to people of color, I'm seeing maybe one patient, two patients a week that may come in, and you can be blue-black and still get skin cancer. And yes, I know, but historically, even the things that we did with regards to picking cotton and what's happening on the continent of Africa, there's skin cancer on the continent also. So protect yourself. We won't go into a long part of that, but
you always say a 30 SPF is what we need. Our melanin gives us 13, so we're about 17 SPF short of not getting skin cancer. But you also say we don't need higher than 30.
You don't need
30
higher.
Is good.
If 30 blocks out 95 to 96% of the harmful rays. So a 50, 70, and 80 would only block out one more percent. They're usually pasty. They leave a cast. They're not cosmetic at all, and oftentimes they want to charge you more money. So at one point in time, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, was going to wipe out all of the numbers past 30, just to group them all in one. But politics has gotten in the way, and money, of course, has gotten in the way. So an SPF 30 is all you need to give you the protection. Know that sunscreen greatest protection is only for 2 hours. It doesn't fall off of a cliff, but it slowly starts to degrade after that time. And there is no such thing as a waterproof sunscreen.
That's a lie. All these lies. So if I put on sunscreen and it's only going to last me 2 hours, how's that going to help me? I'm not going to put it on over my makeup, or am I?
No, it's not that it will only last. That's what I meant by falling off there.
Right.
But it will start to get less and less protective along the way. I'm in the beauty business, so I'm all for makeup, but using it and having it as a base. I will say this. Also remember, it takes approximately 30 minutes for the sunscreen to reach its most protective level. So throwing it on and then just running outside doesn't give it the opportunity to get where you need to. And the whole point is that the sun exposure is cumulative from the time that you are an infant until the time that you say goodbye. So what we're trying to do is to minimize with the total amount of exposure you have over a lifetime. But in particular, I just had a few of my clients that were in Arizona last week where they had temperatures going up to 118 degrees. And many of them came back surprised that, number one, that they could get sunburned. You're damn right you can get sunburned. But two of them, it was fairly severe, enough that we thought about hospitalizing one.
Wow. Okay. Well, more questions in the YouTube chat. We'll get to those for Dr. Paul Wallace when we come forward. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hello, family. This is Dr. Rosa Milligan, self-appointed mayor of South Central LA. I'm sounding the alarm. AI, artificial intelligence, is not coming. It's already here. Join me with a powerful Zoom seminar that will teach you how to use AI for your personal and business use. Go to mytechacademy.net or call 213-878-4742.
Let's be real. Too many black businesses missed out on COVID PPP loans because they weren't tech ready. We can't afford to be left behind again. This time, We must lead. Register today at mytechacademy.net or call 213-878-4742.
You know me, Dr. Rosa, trusted voice of the people, 50 years fighting for literacy, technology, and living trust education. And now I got your back on AI. Go to mytechacademy.net or call 213-878-4742. Your future is calling. Answer it.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Talking with Dr. Paul Wallace, and I want to go right to the comments. He is a cosmetic dermatologist to the stars. Your office is so cool. It's blackety black. You feel like you've time traveled to permanent Black History Month when you go into your office.
Wakanda,
yeah. It's the dermatology office of Wakanda. So we got some questions here. Shanae Lewis DiStefano wants to know, do you have everyday facial cleansers and moisturizers for sunscreen that we can purchase?
Yes, we do, and all of our products are unique. What we do is pretty much, if it doesn't work on my skin or my, unfortunately, my children's skin or my family's skin, we won't put it out. But for example, cleansers. Over-the-counter cleansers, usually what they want to do is to take all the oils out of your skin and then get you to buy their product to put them back in, where there's nothing like mother's milk. With that, what we want to do is clearly get the dead skin off, clearly get the environment off, but we want you to keep as much of your natural oils that are there. So all of our cleansers, for example, have a buffer. It won't go deeper. It won't take out the extra oil, but you'll get very clean. We talked about the sunscreen earlier. Whether it's mine or any, you need to wear a sunscreen, and something should feel good, smell good, and certainly do the job. So if it's an SPF 30, it's okay.
Yeah, I love yours because it doesn't stink and it doesn't make me look pale. Naomi Osaka's I like too, even though it's also a bronzer. Mm-hmm. So you got to like that shade of brown. Shawnee also wants to know, does makeup affect the impact of sunscreen?
Well, there are makeups that have sunscreen in them, but they're usually an SPF 15, which is below where you need to go. One of the problems with regards to makeup is that, and I'm not going to name any of them, but there's some that are acne prone. There are...
Meaning they make you break out?
Yes.
Yeah, MAC does that to me. I'm just saying.
And so does so many people.
I'm just saying. Yeah, but I think what she means is what I do. Like if you put on your sunscreen and then you put makeup over it, will the makeup compromise the sunscreen?
No, it won't.
Okay.
It won't. Sunscreen is the last thing that you put on before makeup.
Right, so all of your moisturizers and stuff first, then the sunscreen.
Yes.
And then I know, because your estheticians have told me,
yes,
that there is a mineral powder that has a sunscreen in it that's not bad.
Sure, there are several things that are out there, and you can give yourself a touch-up along the way if you're using makeup, different than just putting your sunscreen on, and I have absolutely no problem with regards to that. Avoiding direct sunlight for prolonged periods of time is certainly important, but by no means do I want or expect folks to not be able to do the things that are going to be fun, not to do things that are expected of them in their job, but just be mindful of the fact that it's not only the immediate, it's the long-term effects that I'm looking at.
Okay, Doc, okay. It's hard to get in the habit of sunscreen, if you're not used to it. I wish I would have done it earlier. I wish I would have learned about your products earlier, something that didn't make me want to throw up. Because, when we get older, we'll have to do another show on this coming soon. You find out that the sun is one of the things that ages us.
All right. What it does is it breaks down the collagen that we have, especially on our face, and along with gravity, and that's why the face is pulled down. The cheeks come down. The chest, the breasts come down. Skin sags. And one of the things that we do with energy is that we can rebuild or have the body rebuild collagen. That's the important thing with regards to many of the lasers. When we talked about earlier about scar treatment, a woman called with regards to having the abscess or cysts that are there, having that removed, and then being able to use a laser on it. It helps the body then to reconfigure and to actually form its own new collagen. And we have some products now where we can take collagen from the placental sac and have a special line of cells that also help with regards to repair.
Yeah, you guys got all kinds of machines and injections and different things that we can do to fight aging. We're gonna have to do a whole anti-aging show because I've got questions about those. But we're almost out of time. Does eating collagen help, or is that just more bunk?
Bunk.
It's bunk.
It's bunk. Now there can be some degree of benefit, but the problem is as it goes through the digestive system, and that it's broken down by all the acids that are there. What you actually get, the functional part of that, is both minimal and often without direction.
So we're better off either stimulating collagen production, which we'll talk about when we do our anti-aging show, and something you can help folks with, or putting it on topically.
Both of those can work, and I don't want to dismiss with necessarily what eating certain foods. Certainly there's diets and meal plans that can be helpful along the way, but trying to take mega amounts in a pill that has been from a pharmaceutically put together, I have not found to be helpful at all.
You'd be better off drinking water, Doc.
You got that right.
I knew you were going to say that. Dr. Paul Wallace, thank you so much for being with me this morning. It's always, people love it. They're asking for a part 2. We'll definitely do a part 2 and an anti-aging show.
Anti-aging show.
I'm on that bandwagon. Thing. Don't give up your cute. Why would you if you don't have to?
Sexy and 70.
Why not? It's all here for you. Meanwhile, you can go to wallaceskinandbodyinstitute.com. And you can, what are the socials again? I wrote it down.
Come on, you know.
I'll tell. I wrote it down. I know. I just was trying to show off
I got
your
the
new social
LinkedIn
media
is Dr.
awareness.
Paul Wallace, Dr.
Right.
Paul Wallace. I've got the Instagram at Wallace Skin and Body. Got the Facebook at Dr. Paul Wallace. You folks know what to do.
Yes, indeed. Let's get it together. Let's be cute. Tavis Smiley's up next. He's got a Tuesday strong show for you. An incredible lineup on deck. You do not want to miss that. Tap in with me on social media at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio, or KBLA 1580. Let's keep the conversation going in between shows. Like my mama, the late, great poet laureate Diane DiPrima used to say, history is now. Like I always say, we're making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump warns of a 100% tariff on Russia if no Ukraine peace deal is reached.
We're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days.
At the White House, he met with NATO Secretary General and announced a new arms deal, including Patriot missiles for Ukraine. Black Mayor Eric Adams is opening 11 new schoolyards across New York City as part of